Hello everyone, I'm Shalini Singh, Assistant Professor in Department of Commerce at GEMS Engineering Management Technical Campus, Greater Noida. Today, in this lecture of Income Tax Law and Practices, we'll discuss about the concept of mutuality relatives in agricultural income. So let's see what is a concept of mutuality. Mutuality principle is a legal principle which is established by the case law. Basically, we can say that there are number of entities, the income or surplus of which is governed by the principle of mutuality, and therefore such income or surplus is not liable to income tax. In other words, any surplus in case of mutual concern is exempt from income tax, and therefore it would not form a part of gross total income of such mutual concerns. The mutual concerns like social clubs, cooperative societies have various sources of income. So some of which are governed by the principle of mutuality and hence not liable to income tax, whereas others not so governed are liable to income tax. So such organizations which are not governed by the principle of mutuality, that is liable to income tax. Now first of all, let's understand what is mutual concern. A mutual concern or association association is an association of person who agree to contribute funds for some common purpose, mutually beneficial, and receive back the surplus left out in the same capacity in which they have made the contribution. Therefore, the capacity as the contributors and participants remains the same. The participation envisages in the principle of mutuality is not that the members should take the surplus to themselves. So basically, mutuality, principle of mutuality, the basic principle underlying principle of mutuality is that the mutual benefit funds or the society in respect of the income of which the principle of mutuality is normally claimed to be applicable. It is a sort of an entity which is governed by the it is a sort of an entity which is governed, and on that entity it is governed by the principle of mutuality, and it is called as the mutual concern. So basically, the mutual concern is an association of person which is governed by the principle of mutuality, and it is exempt from the income tax law. But if any such income which is not governed by the principle of mutuality, that is taxable in case of income tax law. So the characteristics of organization that can assess mutuality are: the organization is carried on for the benefit of its members collectively, not individually. So the members of the organization share a common purpose in which they all participate, and they are entitled to do so. Main purpose for which the organization was established and is operated is the common purpose of the members. There is a common fund that gives effect to the common purpose, and all the members contribute to it. All the contributions to the common fund are applied for the collective benefit of all the members and align with the common purpose. So members have the ownership and control of that common fund. If an organization's constituent document prevents it from making any distribution to its members, and this is the only thing that prevents an amount of its income from being a mutual concern receipt, the organization is not prevented from assessing the mutuality for the income tax purpose. Now, let's see what do you mean by relatives. So relatives means a gift received from a relative is not taxable in hands of recipient under section 56 of Income Tax Act. The persons who are considered as relatives, there is two cases, that is in case of individual and in case of HGF. So relative means like a relative from whom we receive a gift, but that gift is not taxable under section 56, which lies in that eligibility criteria of section 56 of Income Tax Act. So the relatives who can give us gifts are, in case of individuals, are spouse of individual. If the spouse of individual gives any gift to the individual, then that is not taxable. Brother or sister, if they give in the gift, then it is not taxable. Brother or sister of the spouse of the individual is also not taxable. Brother or sister of either of the parents of individuals, that is also not taxable. Any lineal ascendant or descendant of the individual, that is also not taxable. Any lineal ascendant or descendant of the spouse of the individual, that is also not taxable. And spouse of the person referred to in above points is also not taxable. So these are the relatives in case of individual. Now let's talk about the relatives in case of HGF. Any member of HGF means Hindu Undivided Family, that person is not gift received from that person is not taxable, like husband or wife, brother sister, husband sister, brother husband's brother, wife sister, wife's brother, fathers of sister, father's brother, mother's sister, mother's brother, father, mother, son, daughter, grandfather, grandmother, granddaughter, great grandmother, grandsons, great grandson, husband's father, husband's mother, wife's mother. So these people, if they give any sort of gift in case of HGF, then it is not taxable. What is agricultural income? Agricultural income is earned by a taxpayer in India, which is exempt under section 10 subsection 1 of the Income Tax Act. And agriculture income is defined as under section 2 subsection 1A of Income Tax Act as the person as per section. Agriculture income generally means any rent or revenue derived from from a land which is situated in India and is used for agriculture purpose, and or any income derived from such land by agriculture operations, including processing of agriculture produce so as to render it fit for the market or sale of such produce, or any income attributable to a farm house subject to satisfaction of certain conditions specified in this regard in section 2 subsection 1A. Any income derived from saplings or seedlings grown in the nursery shall be deemed to be agricultural income. So agricultural income, if we say, so under section 2 subsection 1, there are three sources in case of agricultural income, that is, agriculture income is considered for the rate purpose while computing the tax liability for individuals under HGF, association person or body of individuals or artificial judicial person, and losses from agriculture operations could be carried forward and set off with the agriculture income for the next 8 assessment years, and agriculture income is computed in a manner similar to the business income. Basically, agricultural income is based on three forms of income, that is rent, any sort of rent or revenue received, any sort of rent or revenue derived from the land which is situated in India or is used for agriculture purpose. The land should be either be assessed to land revenue in India or be subject to local rate assessed and collectively by the officer of the government. In instance where such a land revenue is not assessed or not subject to local rate, the land should not be situated within the jurisdiction of the municipality or committee, town committee, committee or town committee or any other by or in a cantonment board. And if or any income which is derived from such land by the agriculture operation, including processing of agricultural produce, raised or received a rent in kind or any process ordinarily employed for cultivator, or any income derived from any building owned and occupied by the SSC receiving rent or revenue from the land by carrying out the agriculture operations. Hence, we can consider income attributable to farmhouse as an agriculture income subject to the above conditions. So, normally the annual value of building is taxable as income from house property. However, in case of farmhouse, the annual value would be deemed agriculture income and thus be exempt from the tax. That's all for now. Thank you.